Scanning for audio.
Welcome to Tin Dog Podcast number 95B. Torchwood, Children of Earth, Day 2. Day 2, and Captain Jack has gone to pieces in the hub. And so welcome back to the second podcast of the week. Admittedly, this one will be considerably shorter than yesterday's. Why? Well, because I don't exactly have a lot to say about the show. Everyone else online seems to have really loved it, preferred it in many respects to episode 1. Like I said last time, the whole point of this series at the beginning seems to be the removal of Torchwood's powers. The assassination attempts, the loss of the car, the loss of the hub, and so on. But here, through the apparent loss of Jack, we've got something else going on. I mean, Reese even calls him Captain Scarlet. Which kind of brings me to the main point I wanted to make. You see, we all know that Captain Scarlet is indestructible, but what did that really mean? It's like the conversations you had when you were a kid and you'd just seen Highlander. They can only be killed by having their head chopped off. So what happens if you, say, give them a load of radiation poisoning? Yes, I know, for the pedantic people out there, that was covered in the Highlander cartoon. But you see my point. Just how indestructible is the indestructible Captain Jack? And going off last night's episode, the answer is extremely indestructible. Which then leads you to another thought. If you precisely cut Captain Jack down the middle, would you end up with 2 Captain Jacks growing back? I'm sure there's some fan fiction in there waiting to be told, and I for one would like to leave it there. With the possible addendum of one point. Captain Jack's prison cell. For a start, who designs a prison cell with a pouring spout at the top? But more importantly, and more practically, what kind of concrete was used to encase him? What kind of concrete goes off that fast? It's ridiculous. Unless, of course, they used postcrete, which wouldn't arrive in a mixer. You see, these things are practical, because obviously that's the only problem we've got with Torchwood or even with Doctor Who. The concrete. Yeah, is it me? The build-up of the exciting music as a forklift, the well-known getaway vehicle. Yeah, that was the getaway vehicle from the military establishment. My God, it's as if the police couldn't even catch a bus. But the build-up of the music as the bit of concrete was hurled off the cliff. It was like something from a really bad 1980s pop video. But you see, this has just turned into a random collection of rants, and that's not what I had in mind. But here's another one. Me and my wife both said exactly the same thing when the instructions arrived from the aliens on please build us something. What, is Jodie Foster going to turn up? And that's right. Is Jodie Foster going to turn up, travel through space and time, and meet some image of her father? And oh God, I hate that film. It's so annoying. Yeah, so theories are abounding. We are coming back. I mean, is that the children who left in episode 1? Was Captain Jack involved in the original abduction? Because obviously there was some sort of close-up on a machine gun. These are still questions that are going through everyone's heads. Yeah, it has more of a cartoon flavour. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. So perhaps Captain Jack really isn't Captain Scarlet at all. Perhaps he's more Wile E. Coyote. The only thing that I really liked in the episode, and this kind of sets me apart from almost everyone else I've seen on a forum, because everyone else really loved it, is the scientist who works for the government, the one who's actually built the device. He's implying that he's got extra agendas which hasn't even been dealt with yet. I hope he comes back. Yeah, the traitor girl, well, you know, she's trying to save the world in the only way she knows, and it's her first day. And if it's anything like a real civil service job, she actually won't have signed the Official Secrets Act until about a month in, when somebody realises she hasn't signed it, and then they turn up with a clipboard. She signs it, then asks what she's signed, and then she gets told it was the Official Secrets Act. Yeah, that would be real life, not Torchwood. It's nice to see Mr. Capaldi not shouting, not ranting and not swearing, yet still remaining in government. Right, I'll call this one to an end, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. So until then, be seeing you.
We want a pony. We want a pony. We want a pony.